Someone asked me on Patreon today if I've ever been reached out to by the dead to find out what happened with their death. And this has happened many times to me, but the one that sits with me the most, has been sitting with me for years, are these two people, these two young kids. They went missing right outside my hometown. I think one was from the same city I'm from, Burlington area, and then the other one was like right outside of it in like Orange County area. But they were both high schoolers, both from the areas that I grew up, and they had missing posters all over the internet. And at the time, they were just missing. They had been missing for like less than 24 hours. And a friend of mine, so I do have receipts for this. Just so we're clear, if I went back far enough, if Facebook Messenger allows me to go back, 3 years, then I have receipts for this. But if not, I have a motherfucking witness. Okay, but there was missing posters everywhere, and my friend had contacted me because she knows I have the gift, and she said, "Hey, do you feel or see anything about this girl, Lyric?" And as soon as I saw the missing poster, the flash happened. I told my friend, I said, neither her or that boy is alive. Like, they're gone. And I said, all I can see is they're in the woods somewhere, and I can see the girl with her hands up saying, "No, no, you don't have to do this. No, you don't have to do this. Please stop." And she was shot. But there was someone that was shot before her that I could see on the ground behind her, which ended up being the young man that was in that picture. And all I could tell my friend was their bodies are in the woods, they've both been shot, and it's by someone that they knew. It was someone close to them that they knew. And that's all that I had. That's all the information that I had. They were missing for a few days. It was a few days before they were found. And if I remember correctly, they were found by someone that was out four wheeling. It was a couple of kids because I'm from the country, okay? And these kids, especially the girl, she's from the country. So four wheeling out there on random properties is not. It's a normal thing out there, okay? So these kids four wheeling, they come across the bodies in the woods, shot, execution style. She showed me exactly where they were at without showing me exactly where they were at. I'm not familiar with that terrain, but I am someone gifted and connected to that area. And when I reached out and sent a beacon to find her soul most definitely told me where the body was. And that still sits with me. That interaction with her soul still sits with me all of these years later. Now, I'm not going to put the picture of the gentleman who unalived them up here because he does not deserve his face to be seen on social media. But my vision and her message was absolutely correct. It was a friend of theirs that they went to school with. I think he went to school with the boy and not the girl. He was a little bit older. And he shot them. So, like, the crazy shit is this was like some ego, narcissistic, rage, hateration, lost soul type shit. Meaning, he picked up the boy, his friend, and they both decided they were going to go get the girl, who snuck out. The little girl snuck out. I don't know if she snuck out a window or a door, but she skied out of it because they were going to smoke. They were going to smoke one, they were going to hang out, and then she was going to get back in the house before she got caught up, and the boys were going to leave. But while they were out there, some jokes were made. The boy had suggested to do things that weren't okay with the other one. The girl started to get freaked out. He said he had something to prove. They were talking shit, cussing each other the fuck out. He told Lyric we should run. He got shot. He went down. She stopped in her tracks. She turned around. She threw her hands up. She begged the person with the pew pew to not do this. She begged him. She begged for her life. And he shot her with no remorse, no feelings, no empathy. It doesn't exist within this soul and in this timeline. And it scared me. It scared the fucking shit out of me. Because when I tapped into him, it was hard. It was hard to encounter a soul that had no empathy for what they had just done. If he does now or not, I don't know. I just know it was not existent in the moments that I tapped in. I hope that justice comes for both of those young people that lost their lives. Unfortunately, does not have their timeline was supposed to end. But this is where we meet free will and free will decisions, where we have choices, where we have options, and we choose the wrong one. That's what happened here. Someone let their own ego, their own emotion, their own need to have power in the situation, um, and he pulled the trigger with it, and it cost two people their lives. But I'll never, ever, ever forget that moment where my friend wrote me and said, "Hey, can you help me find these two? Do you see anything?" And that lyric reached out and showed me the truth, showed me where she was, and showed me the truth. Now, I didn't know anybody to tell this to back then. I wasn't out there with my gifts. I didn't think anybody would listen to me if I had reached out. If I had reached out to the police and said, they're in the woods, how the fuck is that going to look? I'm 2,000 miles away. How the fuck would I know that? So I didn't say anything, and I wasn't sharing tarot or my gifts online or on TikTok yet, so I didn't say anything. But it was a conversation that was private between me and a good friend, and it has stuck with me for years. So do the dead reach out to me sometimes to tell me what happened? Yes. Yes, they do. And I never take their voices for granted. And I'm very humble and appreciative that they would trust me with the message. And I don't always see it on a regular basis. This isn't the ghost whisperer, not Jennifer Love Hewitt over here. But it is definitely something that does happen. And when you're gifted, sometimes you never know when it can happen. I think the more I've mastered my gift and practiced with it, it's easier for me to tap in more. Um, but that is one spirit and soul that will always sit with me. So, yeah, that's my story. That's my ghost story.